Dani Sordo's career has been like a roller coaster. Being an active WRC driver for 15 years is definitely an accomplishment, considering that in the first 13 years, Dani only won one rally. How has Dani managed to stay in the WRC for so long, and how did he start winning rallies when he was demoted to part-time driver? Dani Sordo started rally driving when he was 18 and competed in Spain for his first 3 years. In 2004, he continued to race in Spain, but also mixed in a few WRC rallies. He drove the Mitsubishi Evo 8 in Rally Argentina, Rally Germany and Tour de Corse, but switched to a Citroën C2 S1600 for Rally Catalunya, which was his home event. He finished 6th in his class, ahead of many active JWRC drivers, including Chris Meek and Jari-Matti Latvala. In 2005, Dani switched co-drivers and started working with Marc Marti, a man who was Carlos Sainz Sr.'s co-driver for the last 2 years of his WRC career. Together with Marc, they participated in the whole JWRC season with the C2 S1600. He won 4 rallies out of the 7 he entered and won the championship, but most importantly, he won on tarmac and on gravel. He also had some very good competition in JWRC, beating out Guy Wilkes, Chris Meek, Ormo Ava, Per Gunnar Andersson and Martin Prokop. Because of his very impressive title win, Sordo was promoted in 2006 to Citroën's WRC team as their third driver. A little side note on Citroën's 2006 WRC team, it wasn't actually an official manufacturer, but was actually run by Kronos, which is a Belgian rally team. Citroën took a year off to develop the C4 WRC and asked Kronos to run the Citroën Sara with Sebastian Loeb and Xavier Pons as their 2 first drivers. And one of them absolutely dominated the season. Which one? Xavier Pons, on the other hand, was below average. Through the first 7 rallies, he only had 10 points while his teammate had 66. Because he underperformed, he was replaced as the second driver by Sordo halfway through the season because Dani was having a great start to his first season, grabbing 3 podiums in his first 8 rallies and finished the season 5th due to a few mistakes at the end of the season, but could have finished higher. This amazing season secured Sordo's seat as the second driver for the 2007 season, where Citroën unveiled the C4 WRC. Sordo had a good year, grabbing 21 stage wins and finishing 5th with 6 podiums. Loeb obviously won the championship in 2007, but Ford still took their second consecutive manufacturer's title in front of Citroën, because both Ford drivers were extremely consistent. 3 years into his WRC career, Dani finally broke through into the top 3. One of the big reasons for this jump was that Markus GRÖNHOLM retired at the end of 2007 and was replaced by a younger Jari-Matti Latvala, who had some very good results, like winning Rally Sweden, but made some silly mistakes throughout the season, which meant that Dani grabbed 3rd place just ahead of Latvala. Citroën won the manufacturer's title quite comfortably, because Loeb again was having a ridiculous season, winning 11 out of the 16 rallies. 2009 was basically the same as the year before. His speed was decent throughout the season, and he was an excellent second driver for Sebastian Loeb. He stole points from Loeb's rivals and was a solid teammate, bringing home valuable points for the manufacturer's title. Citroën was a well-oiled machine with Seb and Dani as their first 2 drivers. But Dani was starting to sense that he had a huge problem. He was not French, and this guy definitely was. Ogier was a rookie, but he was no ordinary rookie in the sense that yes, he was 100% French. And as many of you know, if you're a rookie and you're French, then life will be a little easier. I'm not saying life is easy for rookie French drivers, but maybe a little easier. Ogier didn't have an easy rookie season, making many mistakes, but a second place in Greece saved his season and his career. He crashed the car quite often, but his raw speed made up for his mistakes. He grabbed 13 stage wins throughout the year, only 5 less than Dani. In 2010, Dani needed to prove to Citroën that he was better than Ogier, but things didn't really go to plan. The only way Dani would have kept his seat was if he finished second. Yes, second. He can't finish first because that is reserved, obviously. Ogier had his breakthrough season in 2010, winning 2 rallies and grabbing another 4 podiums. He finished the season 4th, with Dani finishing in 5th. And that was it. Citroën had their dream come true. A Sebastian Loeb clone would drive the second car, then Citroën would be impossible to beat for the next 10 years, and they're going to win every rally and every championship, and maybe even conquer the world, and their solar system, and maybe even the galaxy. And Dani was sent packing with his future clouded with uncertainty. Dani signed with John Cooper Works Mini at the end of 2010 for 2 seasons. Mini was entering with ProDrive, a team that ran the Subaru Works team for years, but these Mini years were not as glorious, which was very much down to funding. But Sordos still managed to grab 3 podiums out of 13 rallies, which is quite decent considering that Mini was definitely the slowest car in the service park. But after 2 seasons with Mini, guess who called? Our old buddies at Citroën. Well, it turned out that their world-conquering plans didn't really work out, because Sebastian didn't get along with his clone, and things were not helped by the fact that Citroën promised both of their drivers that they will be the number 1 driver in the team, when in reality, Loeb was number 1, Ogier number 2. The 2013 season for Dani was okay, I guess. He did very well on tarmac rallies, but definitely struggled on some gravel rallies, especially on fast gravel rallies like in Finland, which looks like a decent result, but he was consistently a second per kilometer slower, and on Sunday struggled to keep up with WRC2 cars. But during this second spell with Citroën, Dani finally got to taste the sweet taste of victory by grabbing his first WRC win in Germany. Latvala was leading the rally with 4 stages remaining, but went off on SS12. Neuville was promoted to the lead because of this, but on the next stage, Sordo slashed Neuville's lead to only 1.1 seconds, and Dani went into the lead with only 2 stages remaining. He masterfully protected his position and finished ahead of Neuville on the last 2 stages and took the win. Neuville even had this off on the last stage, and believe it or not, they continued and finished second in the rally. Only lost 50 seconds to Dani while casually falling off a mountain on the stage. Despite winning his first rally with Citroën, he did not continue with them. Citroën chose their test driver Chris Meek and the Norwegian Mads Østberg as their leading drivers for 2014. This meant that Dani was again looking for a seat. Luckily, Hyundai had just joined the WRC and were looking for experienced drivers that would help them develop the car and build the team. Dani joined Hyundai for a partial program in 2014 and helped Hyundai to their first 1-2 finish in Germany, with that remaining as his only podium of the season. From 2015 till 2017, Dani drove full seasons for Hyundai, only missing 3 rallies in 3 years, which were Sweden in 2015, Finland in 2016, and Australia in 2017. But coming into 2018, Hyundai had changed their team manager, with Andrea Adamo coming in as the new team boss. This meant that all drivers except Thierry Neuville were in driver's rotation, and Dani only got to drive the rallies that he really liked, but had to miss rallies where maybe he was not as strong. This is not ideal for any driver, but as luck would have it, it actually revived Dani's speed and career. In the 3 seasons when he got to drive all the rallies with Hyundai, he had 5 podiums out of 36 starts. From 2018 till 2021, when he only drove some of the rallies, he had 5 podiums and 2 wins out of 20 rallies. One reason why Dani performs so well when he has a partial program is because he has an ideal starting position on gravel rallies, starting basically as the last WRC car. But on tarmac rallies, he has the worst starting position, because all the cars ahead are pulling gravel and mud onto the road. The second reason why I think Dani performs so well when he's not doing the whole season is because he doesn't have any pressure to perform. He has to do his best, but the main pressure is still on Thierry and now on Ott. The third reason why Dani performs so well when he's not doing the whole season is because he's driving the rallies that he really likes. And because he's driving the same rallies every year, he knows most of the stages, and he can only focus on those rallies in terms of homework. Because Dani is consistently giving out good results, he is well loved in Hyundai, and in my opinion, he will get a seat in Hyundai for 2022. He's 38 years old, and young super fast drivers like Oliver Solberg are already breathing down his neck. But this is nothing new for Dani. He still has the speed to win rallies and the knowledge to develop a car, but we'll see what happens. Dani already has a hell of a career.